everyone, I'm Janna.
And I'm Julianne. Welcome to our podcast, Life in a Salad. So today's episode, we have something exciting to kind of just check in on. Today we are going to talk a little bit more about the second trimester of pregnancy. So Janna has just finished her second trimester. So she's about 6 months along. So we thought this would be a fun time just to dive in a little bit more with the nitty gritty of what to expect with pregnancy at this point, the ups, the downs, and yeah. So how's it been going?
So I feel like I'm in an interview right now, I guess, but
I'll be your interviewee.
okay. I don't really like it right now. I don't think I've liked it the whole time. I'm trying to think. I guess there's a lot of things that have changed for me. I guess on a positive note, I have more of an appetite, less nausea, so it's like a really good thing. I don't know what else.
I mean, that's a positive since you can eat anything pretty much before.
Yeah, before I was really nauseated. I wouldn't eat that much, and I would just complain at dinner and just not want to eat.
So biggest thing, which a lot of women have their first trimester especially, is usually the worst, I think, is the nausea. So something to look forward to for most people. Some people do still have it a bit. Do you feel like you have it at all anymore, or it's kind of totally gone?
I still get it. It's mostly at night. Like after I eat, sometimes I'll feel really nauseated. Where I felt like in the first trimester, you would eat and then you would feel less nauseated. So it's kind of the opposite this time. Or I shouldn't say this time, this trimester.
This is your first and only pregnancy, but
right, I have nothing to compare to.
But for different pregnancies can be different. Actually, for some women, they notice from one pregnancy to the next, not from my own experience, but from what I've read and heard from others. So yeah,
right.
So that's one thing, first of all. Another note is, you've had to go pee a little bit more. Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah. So
we need to find more bathrooms for Janna.
Oh my goodness. So before I would hold it. I don't recommend doing that. I did that before I even got a kidney stone at work.
You should not actually, whether you're pregnant or not, be holding yourself for extended periods of time. It's not going to be great for your bladder or your health.
But now, because you have a baby pushing on your bladder, or that's what I have right now, you have to go. I go in the middle of the night. I go everywhere I go. So I've gotten more introduced to the public restroom.
And you tried to, I feel like, almost avoid drinking previously to avoid using a public bathroom, right?
When I was little, absolutely, because I feared it. So
you're afraid of the public bathroom when you were little?
I was, but I'm a little bit better now. A lot better, actually. I just don't care anymore.
Why were you afraid of it?
I don't know. I think it's disgusting. Public bathrooms are gross. Who likes them? Who wants to go in the public bathroom?
I don't think I was ever afraid of the public bathroom, but to this day, I won't sit on a public toilet, really. I like squat over it, kind of.
I don't know if I
do that.
No, I'm not that good at squats yet.
I feel like that's hard, too. At this point, like, even if you're doing squats, like, it's gonna be a little more challenging
I
to
feel like I would wet all over myself. I mean, I did that in the woods, but like I'll put down the little like tissue and sit on it. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll do that too, but yeah, I like to avoid it if I can. So I don't know. I've not been pregnant yet, so we'll see how that goes at that point.
Yeah,
I gotta keep my squats up, I guess.
I think the other thing is when I eat. Going back to eating, I feel extra full after. Like I just feel so distended and my belly feels so tight.
You want to do a belly pic for us?
No, I don't actually. I thought about it, but not in this thing. This dress that I'm wearing right now is kind of like a big tent, and that's how I like it, but it's not flattering.
You know, that's okay. At least you feel comfortable, right?
Yeah.
So as you're
growing, for me, the way to go right now.
So that's something I guess we could kind of jump in on. Obviously, this is the period of time where your baby really starts going through a growth spurt during the second trimester, so you've grown a little bit compared to the first.
Yeah, I've grown a lot.
I feel like
sideways.
So we went on a trip to Colorado recently. I think maybe we didn't see you for 2 weeks, and we went from not really being able to tell, and suddenly it was very obvious just within a couple weeks.
Yeah, one day you just pop. You wake up and you're like, whoa, I can't even get out of bed. I can't
just there
reach my toes anymore.
Yeah, so we're only 6 months along, so I don't know what the next few months are gonna look like for you. And everyone's different too. You know, you have those different growth spurts, just the way your body is positioned. If you have like a smaller torso or a little bit longer, the way you carry your baby weight might fluctuate just a little bit from woman to woman. So yeah, but this is kind of what you noticed.
Yeah, another thing is itchy skin, dry skin. That's been lately, probably over the past like 3 or 4 weeks. It's really gotten that way. Nothing seems to help. So,
what have you tried?
Well, I haven't tried that much. I guess I should say.
So
I say nothing seems to help. That's not entirely true.
So it just your natural self is not helping, obviously.
Right.
You need to use something.
I started using a moisturizer. I'm not big on them. I feel like if I eat enough fat, it should just come out of my skin if I make that sounds gross.
A little bit, yeah. Natural oils. You know what too, because the hormones change so much during pregnancy, you might notice those skin changes. So
right, I actually did look into that because from what I've read, I believe it's your progesterone levels, and doctors don't really know why. Maybe if I looked more into it, I could find more of an answer, but it just said that it's kind of something that happens to some women during pregnancy.
Yeah.
So the other thing, I feel like that happens at night, and then restless leg for me.
Oh yeah, that's a big one, which can again happen with or without pregnancy, but you're noticing this is new.
Right, yeah, that's kind of annoying, I guess, but once I go to sleep, I'm fine usually. I think massaging legs really helps before bed, more of like a relaxation.
Do you massage your own legs?
No. I mean, I feel like Zach would like me to.
Oh, but you have a personal masseuse.
Well, no, I mean we use a massage gun. I love a massage gun. It's good for
that's intense for your legs. I feel like
it's on the lowest setting. Don't worry. It is a little intense. I'm like, whoa, I'm jumping all over the place.
Okay, like kind of for your calf muscles or for the
I like it in my lower legs, calf muscles, and the massage gun is probably a little intense for it, but I need something like that. I feel like.
Okay. So restless legs, massage, whether you're going to use a massage gun or maybe you have your own personal masseuse next to you can help out. So some good tips for you there.
I actually like to call him a massage therapist.
You get to call him that?
No, I don't call him that. I would say I would call not a masseuse.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, probably a massage
therapist.
Okay, a massage therapist.
Yeah,
so perfect. All right, so skin concerns, restless leg syndrome, a lot of things happening there. Nap time, this is a good time to talk about that. So not for your baby, but for you.
Yeah, so I felt
maybe
like
for the baby too.
Going into the first trimester that I was just tired all the time. Then I went into the second, had a burst of energy compared to the first. Not that I was overly energetic, but now that we're heading closer to the third trimester and when we're tired, I do take naps during the day, which I never really ever did before. So that's something new, but I feel like a good 10 to 15 minute power nap is sometimes all I need.
Okay.
So I feel like, if you're getting towards the end of the second trimester, maybe you're in your third, that just doing a quick nap, not doing anything more than 15 or 20 minutes gives you a little burst of energy. It has for me.
Do you feel like it's easy to just sleep for 15 to 20 minutes, or do you feel like you have to set a little alarm for it?
I guess it depends, but for me, I don't know, I just wake up.
Okay.
But I would say, for other people, maybe they need an alarm because once you hit that 30-minute or 45-minute mark, if you go past that, then you're getting into a deeper sleep.
Yeah.
If you do that midday, I did that one day and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so tired.
You do. It depends where you are in your sleep cycle. We could go into a whole episode about sleep. I think we probably will actually in the near future.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that you'll notice if you're not in that right cycle of your sleep. When you wake up, you might notice yourself feeling a lot more groggy or just tired. So yeah, the power naps tend to avoid getting into those really deep sleep parts of your cycle.
Right. I agree with that.
All right. So nap time or sleep for pregnant women, it's very common. You might need up to around even 10 hours of sleep per night as well. So even naps aside, do you feel like you're noticing more of that, just needing longer amounts of time to sleep at night?
So I've been training to go to the gym in the morning, which is hard if I haven't gotten enough sleep. I know, I'm trying here.
That's good.
But this morning I missed because I just felt like I needed more sleep. And so sometimes you just have to listen to your body, take that extra sleep that you need, and figure you'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
No, and honestly, if you are feeling tired and fatigued, yeah, your body is telling you something that you do need sleep. It's probably not going to be as productive to go and force yourself to go and do some workout if you were just feeling too tired and fatigued, whether you're pregnant or anything else. I think that's really important.
That's something that I really had to listen to my body, not just during pregnancy, but even before that.
Yeah.
I would push myself to maybe I got less than 7 hours and think, oh, I have to go to the gym. I need to get so many workouts done this week. And then work all day, do it all again the next day, and stay up way too late. It's just not worth it.
Oh, I agree. I know I've even done that when I was starting to feel a little bit kind of under the weather, like I was about to catch something, but I was so, I don't know, just regimented with my routine that I had to go and do a workout anyway, even though I was feeling like a little bit of a scratchy throat, not feeling super good, and I should have just gone to bed, which is what my body was telling me I wanted. And you can totally just push yourself into fully getting sick. I feel like if you overdo it like that, which I have done, I don't recommend it.
I don't either.
Yeah. Okay. Well, moving on. Pressure down there. What's that about?
Oh, so yes. The last time I went to my ultrasound, the baby is in the perfect position because he is head down right now.
That's early too. So he's got plenty of time to
float
around.
He had to change positions on me.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get what I would call maybe it's uterine pressure. I don't even know if that would be the right term, but I just feel way more pressure in that area. I imagine maybe that's what birth will be like, but a lot more pressure, intense, who knows.
And probably pretty painful.
Yeah.
So this isn't a pain though, it's different.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's pain, it's more like discomfort.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and I've heard that too. I know I've heard other women saying it, when their baby moves around, sometimes it's almost like they're bearing down and sort of, I don't know if that's maybe what you're experiencing. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if that's
like
the
that.
same. I guess people have been asking me even at work lately,
Yeah.
oh, what do you feel, or is it like this, or like that? I'm like, I don't really know.
But you can feel him. That's something that's huge.
Sure.
You can't really feel baby within the first trimester, but the second one you can start to feel.
Yeah, so that's been a big difference. But I guess because I've never been pregnant before, all I can do is really guess what I think I'm feeling.
I think too, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people's experiences are different, but not everyone always talks about the nitty-gritty or how uncomfortable it can be, even not just at the end, but right now you're only barely past the second trimester, you're finishing up, and it's not comfortable.
No, it's not. Even just eating a normal regular meal, I think that's a big complaint right now. I just want to lay down, or even trying to tie my shoes and bend down. I feel like I'm being all squished inside.
Well, I mean, the baby's growing the most right now. I mean, it'll continue to do so. We don't need to call him an it either. So Janna's wearing blue.
That's not why I'm wearing blue.
To celebrate the gender. So
you're hilarious.
That was just kind of a happy coincidence, but yeah, it's a boy. So
it is a boy.
I don't know if we said that in the last podcast or not, but it is a boy. So that's exciting. That's something that you get to know too. Usually during second trimester is you can find out if you choose to what gender your baby is. And we were gonna throw you a party. It was gonna be fun, but we were out of town. Christian and I were that week that she was finding out, so they just couldn't wait.
Yeah, we just did it our traditional way where they told us in the office, which is fine.
No, I think too, this is a really new trend that everyone likes to throw gender reveal parties, which are so fun, but honestly, it doesn't have to be anything like that either. You can just find out right with the doctor in the office. So that's
I agree. I mean, maybe we'll do it another time.
Another baby.
Yeah, who knows?
Hopefully I'll get a chance to do that. So those are some different areas. So kind of talking a little bit more about pain, discomfort that's starting to arise right now. Makes sense, baby's growing, you have tons of organs going on here, so they're getting a little bit more squished. Makes sense that things are gonna feel a little bit more uncomfortable, including as your belly is growing, your back.
Yeah, so even though as I sit right now, I have a little bit of back pain, and at work, it's quite a bit.
Does it mean just the low back area, or?
Yeah, lower back, a little bit on the sides, which is totally normal because you have all this pressure in front, and it's hard to keep balance and not have it pulling on you. So that, and then I think you have like round ligament pain, which is more in your groin area because you have ligaments there that are trying to hold the baby, and they pull and stretch, and so with that, you just deal with it.
And that's something too. I mean, you're feeling that, but also pregnant women start to get a little bit more elasticity in their joints in that area, so that when you give birth, you have the ability to do so. So it's naturally already getting more flexible there. So that's kind of an interesting combination going on.
Yeah, that's why sometimes I'm like, oh, is this all in my head? Or am I really having this much pain? Should I be concerned? But really, it's not anything really that big of a deal.
Yeah. So
you just get through it.
You do, and you're still doing your workouts, which is fantastic. The most that you can continue, building strength and staying active is going to prepare you for usually a lot easier birth. Janna's planning on, I think you're still planning on naturally giving birth.
That's a plan. We'll see what happens when I get there.
Yeah, she didn't want to do anything extra, no epidurals, right?
That's the plan, and I plan to keep it that way, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
That's all I can say on that.
So we'll revisit it during the third trimester / birth period for the next few months. But for now, this is a great way to just build up that strength, endurance, stamina in your body as much as you can. You're doing strength training workouts.
Yes, I try to go at least 3 to 4 times a week. I've definitely modified some of them, but a lot of things I just do higher up, less weight, and so that's really helped with just figuring out what to do. Like, I've still done squats. I don't know how long that will last, but definitely less weight.
Yeah, well, you can do a wider stance too as things start to get, and that's a great way to actually give yourself more balance. I know we were both a fan of doing single leg RDLs for your lower body.
Yeah, I love those.
Did you stop?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's something too. Your center of gravity is completely changing with pregnancy, obviously, as you're growing in this midsection, and you're a lot heavier on this end. It's pulling on your back, it feels like that, but also if you're doing workouts, your balance is going to be a little bit more compromised. So you do want to be really aware of those things with your workouts and when you're exercising. So single leg exercises may not be something that you're able to do as much. You might need a little bit wider stance with some of those exercises, making sure that you're adjusting the weight to what feels appropriate to, just so you're not, kind of overstraining yourself, especially based off of your experience level too. You don't want to be adding brand new exercises and things that you've never done before, midway through pregnancy. This is not the time to be doing that.
Yeah, save that for after pregnancy. That's my plan.
Yes, great plan. When you've done so well with staying active anyway, which is, it's really good.
Definitely.
Cool.
I'll try to.
Yeah, well, it's you do what you can do, right?
Some
weeks are better than others, and
that's all you can do, and just be okay with it. It's something I've had to learn to be okay with, especially in pregnancy, that I keep thinking, oh my goodness, I'm getting so big. I feel so fat right now.
And that's sad, right? But it's true. Those are just natural feelings, because your body's changing, and this is not what you're used to being like. And it's a quick process too. I mean, the first few months, not too much, but suddenly those next 3 to 6 months, you really start to see those changes. And that's a really big part of it too, is just being comfortable with your body the best that you can during that process. Yeah, and it's not comfortable.
No, it's not.
So, but some people, like I said, it might be a little bit of an easier process. So, yeah. Okay, so moving on. We talked about less nausea, right?
Yes.
You're able to eat a little bit more. So we're hoping that is going to continue. And things that have been helpful. So I think this is a good time just to talk about, we talked about all these different changes, a few things that you tried. But it is important, I think, as you're navigating through these obstacles of pregnancy, to help yourself to feel the best that you can and know what to do. So we talked about finding a good moisturizer. So if your body is changing, your skin's feeling a little bit, more dry and scaly, I'm not even
Like an alligator?
Yeah, like an alligator. I get dry spots on my body, so I'm not pregnant, obviously, but I just anytime I get out of the shower, it's a great time when you just come out of the shower, you have moisture on your body just to get a really good moisturizer and do it right after you get out of the shower. Then you don't have to think about it throughout the rest of the day. It'll hydrate your skin a little bit more. So that's something that you can do. Finding a good one too. Have you picked one yet?
No, I've been using the same one, but I'm on the lookout for one, so I'll have to let you know what I find.
Okay, yeah, I've got some different ideas. I can share some tips with you there. Okay, so that's one thing that you can do. We talked about taking cat naps, sleeping a little bit longer. That's gonna help you feel more energized and well rested. You are growing a human being inside of you, which is a pretty big process. So give yourself time for that.
Yes.
Changing positions.
So basically, when I felt like the pain or discomfort where maybe the baby's head is head down, I'm not really sure. Yep. Or even just like the ligament pain, the back pain, just moving around, changing positions instead of being like, oh, I hurt, I just want to lay in bed and like not do anything. For me, it's been really good to just move around, move my body, and it kind of helps alleviate some of that, or doing like light stretches.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and that kind of goes for anyone when you're feeling discomfort. Just moving around tends to help your body feel a little bit better than staying in one position. So yeah, that's a great tip. I like that. Talked about leg massages for the leg cramps. Birthing class. So what's going on with that?
So I haven't actually started it yet, but it's been recommended. I think a lot of people do that before birth. And they can give you a lot of tips on not just through birth, but leading up to it. So I've been telling my husband, Zach, that we will be going.
It's not like a question, like you're gonna go.
Yeah, I just need to set it up, but I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm probably behind. I'm kind of a procrastinator in life, so it carries out in other things.
I feel like maybe you could do a virtual birth class too, right?
You probably could. I'm sure you could, but I'll probably just do it through my doctor's office.
Oh yeah, and you can talk a little bit about that. Share a little bit about your doctor's office. So, what do they all offer for you there? Because it's a little bit of a different clinic, right?
I'm actually changing clinics, so we'll be going to that.
Okay.
So there's a lot of change. We'll get back to that later.
So yeah, well, changes to, I remember you did tell me that was going to happen. So that's something that's really important while you're going through this entire process. You want to make sure that you do have a good clinic, a good doctor that you feel comfortable with through the whole process. This is a huge change, especially if it's your first time navigating through a pregnancy. Be your advocate. You need to be there for yourself, whatever feels right. If something doesn't feel right about your doctor, the office, the practices, whatever it is, it might be in a really good interest just to do some research for that and see what's out there. So following up, we'll see what feels like a good fit for you.
Yes.
Okay. So exercising, anything else that you wanted to add there?
I think that pretty much sums it up. I just do what I can.
Yeah, cool. Something exciting that we have planned is we are going on a cruise together for vacation, which in hindsight, maybe we should have done it a little bit earlier.
Yes, I don't want to say I regret the cruise, like who regrets going on a cruise, but the timing is not optimum for me. We planned this back when I was feeling better, and
you were pretty early on, you were not hardly even, I don't know if you were even showing at that point.
Yeah, I think I was just a few weeks into the second trimester maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I feel good. I have so much energy. I'm so ready for this. Yeah, we can do it. Let's go. And now that we're heading into it, I'm excited to go, but the plane ride, the cruise, everything, I'm a little hesitant just because carrying around this weight and this baby has become a lot. And so I will probably be doing a lot of relaxation on a cruise and have people carry stuff for me. Like Zach.
Namely Zach, yeah. I mean, I guess Christian can help too, maybe.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it should still be good. It'll be our last trip for a while, I think.
Plenty of food. There are supposed to be healthy food options too, so.
Yeah. It's exciting. So
it's like a baby mood. Isn't that what a lot of people like
they
to
call it that? I mean, Sure, it's another vacation before the baby comes.
Pretty much, and it might be it's the last baby-free vacation technically before you have a baby.
Right.
So
kind of a big deal, I guess.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
It's also my birthday, so that's.
Oh yeah, it's my birthday.
Yay! That's one reason why I
Yay.
wanted to do it. So I wanted to do something fun. So we just put it in during that time, so that'll be a couple fun things to celebrate.
Yes. Okay, so moving on to where we're at with the baby, with his size and everything. So supposedly I'm at 26 weeks right now in my pregnancy app. We don't know how accurate this is.
It's supposed to be close.
But it says he's about 14.5 inches long, I believe.
It's kind of big.
I know,
I'm trying to think, because you know what?
I have
Some
no idea.
babies, when they're born, I feel like a normal size is like 19 to 21 inches.
right.
So he's kind of big, right? Or do they get that big that early?
I don't know. I'll find out when I go to my next ultrasound.
Yeah.
So that was something that obviously he's bigger. I can feel the kicking if that's what he's doing, or sometimes it just feels like I have like a jumping bean inside me, like a really big one.
A big bean.
Yeah, that's jumping around in me. But I read that it says that he's having hiccups, and like he has a lot of hiccups then.
That's kind of a powerful hiccup, I feel like.
Yeah, it's very it's almost like a jolt sometimes that can even wake you up in the middle of the night.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's intense.
It is intense. In fact, he's doing it right now a little bit.
Can you see it?
No, you can't see it.
Okay.
I'm not standing up and showing it.
I wanted to see if I could see it.
No, I'll show you later.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen him move yet, but I'm sure we'll see more of that as he gets bigger.
Right.
Do we have a name?
We're not going over that. So Zach and I have decided not to announce this, so we'll move on from that.
But they're solidifying names. So this is a great time to do that when you've got your first few months left to kind of narrow in on what names you're thinking of, whether it's going to be a boy or a girl. So exciting time.
Yes. And the other thing that's happening during the second trimester is that their skin is still loose around their body. Like they don't have that baby fat that babies are usually born with, but they'll get that in the third trimester. And that's when they really put on more weight. And so for me, I'm like, oh, maybe I should watch my diet more, but who knows?
No, and that's something too. You want to eat as healthy as you can. Everyone's bodies are going to be different for what you need based off of if you were underweight, a healthy weight, or maybe a little bit overweight prior to pregnancy. You'll have different recommendations from your doctor for a healthy amount of weight to gain. In general, you do want to gain weight throughout your pregnancy. It's just a healthy thing. The baby needs it. And the baby is going to take the nutrients that it needs from your body and leave you with whatever's left. So
true.
It's really important. Quick story. Our grandma actually, when she was pregnant with, I think it was with our mom, because she's the oldest. So I think she was lacking something in her nutrition when she was pregnant. And so the baby took all that it needed, and she ended up being very deficient and lost all of her teeth when she was 24, which is super young, and that's just so sad. You don't regrow your teeth.
It sounds crazy.
It does, and this is not the only situation that's happened, so it's so important. You don't want to focus on trying to lose weight or avoid gaining. You don't need to gain 100 pounds. That's not needed. But you do need to gain a healthy amount of weight based off what your doctor advises, and not be, I guess, beating yourself up over it. It's just gonna happen, and it's okay. You just gotta love yourself and all of its changes and your baby, and know that you both are still gonna need your nutrients so that you're healthy and they're healthy and no one's losing their teeth. So
yeah, don't want to lose your teeth. They're really
that's so sad. The worst story.
Yeah. So normal weight gain is 25 to 30 pounds for a pregnancy.
Yes. So that's typically what you can expect, and your doctor will help you kind of watch that and walk through it, and just gradually increasing your calories a little bit throughout the pregnancy will usually help you gain just a healthy amount of weight.
Right. And then another thing that happens is that the baby's brain can start detecting light and sounds. They say that you can have your baby start listening to music. I haven't done that, but maybe we'll try.
Something classical music that's going to make them be smarter.
Maybe.
It might. Yeah, I've heard studies on that. I don't know if that's... I think a lot of music in general can do that, but...
Yes, and then one other thing that I forgot to mention is that when I was talking about the uterine, or what I think is uterine head down pain or discomfort, something else that I've experienced that, from what I've read, not all women have, is that this is kind of, what's the word? Personal? I don't know. Invasive, I guess you could say.
It's not something most people would probably discuss.
No.
But it's okay, we're laying it all out here, so.
Yeah, so what I've experienced, and this is kind of weird, is that I will have pain, what I guess would be in the vaginal canal, and it's so like, almost like lightning or like a probe. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's a sharp pain, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, if this is what birth is like, I can't do it. I don't even know how I would. So I looked this up. It's called lightning crotch.
Lightning crotch?
Yeah.
I've never heard of lightning crotch before.
Yeah, that's the term for it. Anyways, they say only like 34% of women have it or will experience it.
But 34% is quite a bit still. So a lot of women get this, and I've never heard of lightning crotch. I don't know.
Neither have I. I'm like, what's a lightning crotch?
I have never heard of that, but that makes sense if it's nerve pain. That it does feel like that kind of, I don't know, burning, like the lightning, so I get the name.
How it was described is that the baby is pressing against a nerve that runs along there, and so you get this really sharp pain. It doesn't last that long, which is good, but it's very painful.
Okay.
And I had to go lay down. I'm like, oh my goodness.
How often are you experiencing that?
It's very random, and they say that it happens more in your third trimester.
Okay.
So I've already had it now, so I'm kind of dreading if this continues or increases for me. I'm not going to be too happy. I'll be ready to get this baby out, but we'll see what happens.
So something to expect. Watch out for the lightning crotch. It can sneak up on you. It's not there for everyone. For the majority of women, they don't have it. So just about a third. But be aware it can happen, and hopefully, I don't know what birth will feel like. Maybe it will be a different type of pain.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what people have told me. So I don't think I'll have the shooting lightning crotch.
I don't think so. I think it's different. I've heard. So I'm sure it's unpleasant either way. But we're gonna prepare for that, and we'll follow up on a future episode once we get closer to that third trimester, and then also just the whole birthing experience. We'll kind of dive in on that because that's always fun to talk about.
Yeah, we'll discuss that in another episode.
Yeah. Cool. Well, is there anything else you feel like everyone should know about this second trimester?
I think that pretty much sums up my experience of it.
Okay. So I'll let you know if I ever have an